Ladies and gentlemen, presidential candidate on the Republican Party ticket. He is the true people's candidate. A constitutional populist is the term I would use to best describe Dr. Paul, veteran Ron Paul, Congressman Ron Paul, grandfather Ron Paul, husband Ron Paul, patriot Ron Paul, who's got a perfect conservative voting record, literal founding father material. He is a very humble man. He doesn't like hearing that. I know I cringe when people compliment me, but you know what? He is the real McCoy. And, I mean, people say he's in the mold of Barry Goldwater. Frankly, I've looked at Barry Goldwater's voting record, and it is a pox compared to Congressman Ron Paul. And he's got a good record, but it's got quite a few potholes in it. This guy is sterling. He is literally the Excalibur of candidates. And RonPaul2008.com is the website. 1-800-RON-PAUL is the number to donate. The Congressman joins us now for the rest of this hour, the next 25 minutes. Congressman, thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you, Alex. Good to be with you.
So much has happened. Just out of the gates, what is most important to Congressman Ron Paul and presidential candidate Ron Paul?
Well, of course, the exciting thing is that the message has caught on. I think one of the more interesting things about who's responding, and it's the younger generation, which I think is good news for the country. It's the younger generation that is bearing the burden. They're starting to recognize what we're dumping on them, whether it's the war in the Middle East, whether it's our foreign policy, whether it's an entitlement system we can't pay for, or our financial system, the monetary system. The young people are starting to wake up. Besides, they like their privacy, which is delightful. So I never dreamed that the young people would respond so well to somebody that does not exactly identify with a lot of young people, socially and with music and things but it's the idea of freedom, that if I'm willing and to present the case for allowing these young people to have their way and not put a burden on them, all of a sudden they have become very excited about what's happening.
I got to bring this up because I've probably gotten, 500, 600, emails, 50 calls on air. I mean, all I know is it's a lot. Faxes. Oh, we got to protect him. They're gonna Bobby Kennedy him. Ask him how we support him. Do we donate for bodyguards? And I go, I don't want to get the congressman on and bring something like this up. I go, he's a smart guy. He knows there's a risk, in everything you do. But obviously, the New World Order does not smile on people in the past who are actually making a run at their throat. I think if you do win the nomination, let's be honest, I think you are going to be in danger, sir. They would like you to address that.
Well, I think that's real. I think we're at a point right now where they're still hoping I will go away, but the fact that they've started to attack me means that we are annoying them, to say the least. But I'm still working on the assumption that my automobile may well be a lot more dangerous than me being attacked.
Yes.
But like you say, if we get a little bit closer to really achieving success in the political sense, then I think there's reason to be concerned and to be alert.
Well, they went after George Washington. They went after Andrew Jackson. They've gone after a lot of people that are patriots.
And George Wallace, who wasn't exactly in our camp, but he sort of resented the establishment, and they finally did something with him, too.
Yeah, and look at the big kingfish. Look at Mr. Long.
Mm-hmm, that's right. They'll do it. So there's a lot at stake. If we shake up the establishment, it's what is at stake for us is our freedom. What is at stake for them is the money and the control and the power and the monetary system. So this is high stakes. So yes, they will be very determined, but I think right now they're going to just try to ridicule and to make me a fringe candidate. That's their approach.
Absolutely. Coming into the debate, I know you've been pretty public about your strategy: liberty, freedom, less government, constitutional principles. In the next debate, I talked to Aaron Russo. He told me he talked to you. Obviously, I'd seen your campaign already attacking Giuliani. I mean, that is the smart thing. That you don't need our advice. But what about going after him about the dust, which he helped cover up, which they now admit, major medical institutions that it's hurting their lungs, the asbestos, the concrete, the glass. What about going after Giuliani on saying he's a hero of 9/11, as he did last time with you, when in major polls and articles, the firefighters and police unanimously pretty much hate his guts?
Well, the likelihood of me initiating that in a debate where time is so limited and that takes a little bit of explanation. I'm not likely to. The fact that he made a charge which was unbelievable, that he had never heard our side of the story about how our foreign policy could contribute to our dislike of American government overseas, that was astounding. So we did go after him, but I thought in a dignified fashion, to point out to some very, very credible CIA agents who, people that I've read and studied before, supported my position. So I will continue to do that, to try to point out when they overstep their bounds, but I just don't think in 30 seconds or 1 minute I can make this the issue of the debate, unless it lends itself. You know, if I'm asked a question, obviously I can take advantage of the opportunity.
Well, I would. I mean, if I was a betting man, I would guess he'll wrap himself in 9/11 again, and bring up what a hero he is. He said he was a victim, which he wasn't last time. Just amazing stuff. I mean, I'm just saying, if he brings that up to say, hey, why are they all mad at you for covering up the dust? You knew about that. I mean, I think that's a winner.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I have to be ready to use it if the opportunity presents.
But obviously, Dr. Paul, I mean, I defer to your knowledge. I mean, you've been up on the Hill for many years, and you've experienced all this. You know 10 times, with half your brain tied behind your back that I do about strategy. What are you planning to bring up in the debate that's coming up next week?
Well, if I have an opportunity to direct this discussion, I would probably follow this line of thinking. I've made the case for the moral arguments against our foreign policy and the politics of it, how bad it is for us as Republicans and how unconstitutional it is. But I'm going to start talking more about, to sort of needle away at the conservatives, how this is not conservative. We don't even have any money. We borrow every penny to fight this war from the Chinese. The Chinese can bring us to our knees because of our monetary system and our trade policies, and yet nobody says anything. And the conservatives call this a conservative philosophy. At the same time, they're running up these huge deficits. I'm going to put the burden back on our Republican leadership for not being exactly what they say they are, and trying to make the point that instead of making me the strange Republican, I think I'm a mainstream Republican. I still believe in balanced budgets. I think they're radicals. I think they're radical in their foreign policy. I think they're radical in endorsing the Democratic proposals for entitlements. They're radical when it comes to taxes and entitlements. So, and now they have a need to run up these deficits and continue this fraud that exists in the Federal Reserve System to keep printing money to pay the bills, which literally wipes out the middle class. So I'm going to emphasize the economics of this war, since we have talked about the other conditions that have given us trouble.